let's talk about the Campaigns app. So campaigns are something that we all run in our business. Well, I refer to them as campaigns because we're going to calculate how much money we're spending in each campaign and try to figure out our return. So campaigns, I want you to think as campaigns is things you do to make money. For example, maybe you do a lot of direct mail. Maybe you run a RIA. That's a way to get money. Maybe just being part of a RIA and the interactions that you make, that's kind of a lead generating source for you, isn't it? What about a cruise? Have you ever been on a cruise for real estate investing? That whole cruise could be set up as a project inside your campaign app. It tracks how much money you're spending on a project and then what your rate of return is on that money. So an example of some campaigns that maybe you want to run, maybe direct mail campaign is too broad. But let's say you want to run a 65 plus high equity campaign, or maybe you want to run an absentee list campaign, or you want to run a foreclosure campaign. Each one of those individually is its own separate process in its own separate campaign. So you go into the campaign map app and you would set that campaign that you'd like to do. And maybe for you, the campaign's already running and you're just mailing things out, and you're getting a return to calling you into a telephone number, and you can set that up to track it. But it also can be used as a project within that campaign. For example, let's say you didn't have a 65 plus high equity list. You could create the campaign and then you could create individual tasks to get the campaign running. All campaigns are either in the planning stage, or they're in the active stage, or they're in the done stage. So if you're in the planning stage, you can go through your campaigns app and create projects to do. So for example, if you were trying to do the 65 plus high equity, perhaps you would create the task within the campaign that would make it so that on your dashboard you had something that was due the following Friday. You had to go to ListSource and you had to come up with a list of 1,065 plus high equity people. That's a task that you could create so that you're constantly managing your campaigns. Oftentimes as business owners, we get lost and we forget about the things that we're doing. But with the campaign apps, we can hold ourselves accountable to making sure that we're making progress on all of our financial fronts. Currently, I have about 39 campaigns that I'm in the process of running. Some of them are, I want to be a leader on Bigger Pockets. That's a campaign that I hope to earn money off of. I can track and I can make sure that my posts are adequate in Bigger Pockets. Maybe I want to get an Airbnb going. I'd like to get in the Airbnb business. So maybe I create a campaign that says, get my first Airbnb. And that's a project. And that project might take me 2 months of little steps along the way. But the campaign app is going to allow me to track those steps and hold me accountable to the dates they were due. And even better yet, what if I could, in my campaigns app, create tasks for other people to do, where I simply created them and didn't even have to do them? For example, if you had a virtual assistant and you wanted that same 65 plus high equity list from ListSource, instead of making it due next Friday because you're so busy, maybe you can just assign that task to a virtual assistant and they have that 65 plus high equity Excel spreadsheet uploaded into your campaign projects the next day. And then you can create the next step in your campaign progress. Mail through a yellow letter campaign, 1,065 plus. And then when the phone rings, you can track where that letter came from, what campaign it was attached to, and you could find out which of your campaigns are making you money and which are not. You ever wonder if going out to the RIA meetings or going out to your local investor meetings is making you money? Is it worth the time? Well, you could track it. Track the leads that come out of that specific campaign, and then you know. All right, the campaign app is one of the most powerful apps on the software. I want you to go in there. I want you to come up with 8, 9, 10 different ways that you can make money and create a campaign and start the process. Good luck.